Hello students, welcome to online lecture on brain. In this lecture, we will study the comparative evolution of brain in vertebrates.
Brain is part of the nervous system. The nervous system can be classified into central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is composed of brain and spinal cord, while the peripheral nervous system comprises of somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is further subdivided into sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. You can see here, it is the central nervous system with the brain and the spinal cord, while this is the peripheral nervous system, which comprises of all the nerves which are distributed in different parts of the body, and they control the voluntary muscles as well as the involuntary body functions. In this lecture, we will study about the brain in detail. Let us see the functions of brain. Here you can see different lobes of the cerebrum are associated with different activities. The frontal lobe is responsible for problem solving, reasoning and voluntary motor activity, while the parietal lobe is for sensation, body orientation and reading. The occipital lobe is for vision and color perception, while the temporal lobe is for hearing, memory and understanding language. The cerebellum is part of the hindbrain, which is responsible for balance and coordination and control of voluntary movement as well as fine muscle control. The brainstem includes medulla oblongata, which has the centers for breathing, body temperature, digestion, and the brainstem also involves alertness and swallowing. This slide represents the evolution of vertebrates. You can see how different class of vertebrates have evolved from the common ancestors. This common ancestry is also reflected in the evolution of the brain of these organisms. Here, forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain portions have been color coded using different colors. You can see here that there was some ancestral vertebrate brain plan which gave rise to brain in cyclostomes such as lamprey. Then cartilaginous fishes or elasmobranchs, example is shark here. Then the ray-finned fishes, amphibians. Reptiles and birds, they share a similar type of brain plans, and mammals. As you see the change in the portion of different colors across all these classes of vertebrates, you can see here that the forebrain has enlarged quite more in case of mammals and birds and crocodilians as compared to the anemniotes. This is a diagram of the development of brain of a human. Here you can see when the fetus is few days old, these three bulge-like structures are appearing, and as the fetus grows older, this structure changes, leading to this structure at 6 months, then at 9 months. This is the brain of a young child, this of a teenager, and this of an adult. In the earliest form, the brain appears as three swellings at the front end of neural tube. So this is the neural tube which is going to give rise to brain. So these three swellings eventually become the forebrain, which is the anterior part, midbrain and hindbrain. You can see here that a flexure is taking place and this type of structure is developing. Now these three swellings are known as forebrain is also called as prosencephalon, midbrain is mesencephalon, hindbrain is rhombencephalon. This has come from Greek where prosen means the front part and cephalon refers to encephalus or the brain. You can see there is this conservation of embryonic brain ventricle structure across different classes of vertebrates. Ventricles are those regions in which cerebrospinal fluid is circulating inside the brain. Now these primary vesicles, prosencephalon, mesencephalon and rhombencephalon, further give rise to 5 secondary brain vesicles. These are termed as telencephalon, diencephalon, metencephalon and myelencephalon. These terms are really important to understand the anatomical differences between different classes of vertebrates. Here you can see these three primary brain vesicles and they are giving rise to the 5 secondary vesicles in such a manner. Now out of these the forebrain has or prosencephalon gives rise to telencephalon and diencephalon, which in turn the telencephalon will form the cerebrum while the diencephalon will form the thalamus, hypothalamus and epithalamus. On the other hand, mesencephalon does not divide into further brain vesicles and it itself remains as the midbrain. In the midbrain, the upper roof-like portion is known as tectum and the lower floor region is known as tegmentum. In case of hindbrain, the secondary brain vesicles metencephalon and myelencephalon are formed, out of which the myelencephalon will give rise to medulla oblongata while the metencephalon will give rise to pons and cerebellum. In the next lecture, we will see the detailed structure of brain in cyclostomes, cartilaginous and bony fishes and amphibians. Thank you for watching.